Okay, guys, welcome back. This is part 7 of Happy Client Web Build, and we're in the process of putting things together on the navigation up here on the top. And as we mentioned in the last of part 6, remember we set this thing up as in the position as fixed. So you'll see as this thing grows and some of this stuff starts to get bigger and all of these other links and the image and stuff starts to scroll, this stuff will stay in one place. And this is where we're going to be putting, this is the other section of the div, guys. We've got this div up here that's going to be controlling this that I mentioned to you here. And then we're going to, as I come down here, you'll see I'm going to be putting another div down here that will be controlling this down here, and then we can put the icon in here. We're going to put a search over here, and I'll explain to you a little more of that. The nice thing about that is this search will stay in one place as well, so as they scroll through and wander around through the site, they never do end up down a rabbit hole to where they have to, you never want them to hit that backspace on the browser. So this menu will always be available to them, and or this search right here will always be available to them. So as they wander all through the many pages and parts of your site, they can always link back up here. They always have a place to get back to home and or search for other parts that they're looking for. Okay, so when we left before, we had this acting the way we wanted this to act as far as the color, and we need to do the same over here with these others. And so essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a quick copy of this, and then I'm just going to put this down here so that we get the same attribute. Because what we've done is we've drilled down with that A on this attribute. So that's going to give everything the white that we're looking for. And then of course, guys, you can make this mimic whatever you are building. So we've got bathroom here. Take this right here and we'll cut this out of here and bring that up here. And then we can have this say kitchen, and we'll take this down right here, over here, and we can tell this to be not lighten, we want that to be lighting, so, specific types of lighting. Come down here and we'll paste one more of these in here, and let's say that we have gardening available for our clients as well. Garden, we'll just say garden. How's that? Okay, now when I refresh that, you'll see that I will have all of these in here now. But you may or may not want to keep this underline. I think more and more sites anymore, and a little bit more professional look, take these underlines off of here. So in this navigation that we have here, we also continue to drive down into that navigation, and this is where we will control and take that off. So what we want to do in here now on this is not only do we want to specify the color, but we want to adjust the text. And then what do we want to do with that text? It is the decoration. So of the decoration of that text right there, we want it to be none. So what that's basically saying is decoration, it automatically, this A automatically wants to try to underline this, and what we're saying is we don't want any of that to take place. We want all that decoration to be off. So that takes that off there. And then this A on this reference right here automatically gives us the pointer that you can see going on here. Okay, so what we want to do now is we need to drill down in this same scenario. Oops, I don't want to go that. We want to do the nav, and then we're going into the unordered list, and then we're in the LI, and we do the A, and then we want to do hover. Okay, so we set that hover up like that, and then within this parameter, we can control whatever we want it to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to tell it that I want the color. See, we can change the color on that from a good night, if I could learn how to spell, if we there's a lot of things you can do here, guys. You can change the background, you can change the color, you can do whatever you want to do. I just happen to know that. Let me go in here and want to do one of those. I just happen to know that those C's like that is going to give us a gray background. Let me go okay, just like that. Perfect. Bada bing. Okay, now when we save that, okay, we'll refresh this, and that gives us a nice professional look, because as I come in here now, excuse me, as I come in here now and hover over these, it is there. See, now I'm getting it. I'm getting it now. It's not as, let's try this, gang. You can change the color on that to where you get the results that you're trying to accomplish. So that's just a little bit darker gray. So it's a nice professional look. As I hover over those are giving me a nice professional look. Now as I come in here on these, and this is where we'll get in a little more into the PHP, but let's say I've got a shop page that I put together called shop in PHP. Okay, so what you do in the PHP is this question mark right here tells it that you want to do a search, and so we got a name, and then we're going to do a search. Okay, and we want to put that equal to whatever we put in here, which is going to be font room. I'm sorry. So we're going to do, let me come back here really quick. All right, because this is the front room. See, it has the same indication that you have here, guys. So essentially what you're doing is you're putting this into a search, just like you'd put it into a search over here. So this front room essentially equals that, and that is what we've done here is we've named a memory location. So this information here, front room, we're putting into this memory location, and then when we click on this, it will take off and go to this PHP page, and it will go through and compare it to a post that's coming in, and then it will run that through some code that will basically pull everything out of the database and display everything on the database that relates to this search that we're looking for. And so basically we'll just be taking this whole thing down here, and we'll run it all down through here, depending on what, I mean, if you're taking this and going to this shop page on every one of these, then this is essentially what you'll do. But you could be on the site that you're building, you could be going to different places. You could be, one thing, let me show you here really quick. If you could be going to another site called, well, let's say you're looking on a site called Find Bath Stuff, like that. Okay, so you're going to a site called findbathstuff.com because you're linking out to something of that nature. Well, in the process of doing that, guys, you always want to do what's called a target like that. And the target, and it will go target, and then you underscore like that, target blank. And so what that does, guys, the reason that I'm showing you this is because you never want your client to ever leave this page. And so if they click on this, like if you're doing some kind of reference to another site, maybe you're doing some kind of an affiliate link or something of that nature, you never want them leaving this site. And so when they click on this, what that does is that opens up a whole new tab over here, and it takes this result search to another tab, and so it never closes your tab. You never want your client to ever take this out from in front of them. You want to, from a marketing standpoint, you never want your client to push away from this page. That's just bad form. And so essentially that's what this target blank does when you put this in there. So depending on the site that you guys are building, you might be putting this together like this to where you're coming to a shop page. You could be going to several other different pages on your site, and this is what you'll do is you'll call out that page. You'll put in a name here that makes sense to you as to what that is doing, and then this becomes basically the name of a memory location that you're putting this information in, and then when you go to this PHP page, it drops that information in there and searches for that. So you could be linking out to something else on your referral, and again, like I say, it might be an affiliate scenario, but you want to always do this target out because you never want your user to ever leave this page. Okay, so guys, in closing, what I want to do, first off, I have put the rest of this stuff in here for our navigation so that you can see the length of this and how big that this can actually be. But when I left you on the last one, I talked about targeting out. Okay, when you do that, I did not put those quotes in here like that. So you have to put the quotes on that when you go blank. Okay, so blank is one of the call outs that you can use, but you do a target out and you just do the target here equals this blank, and once you save this and then I click on this, it will target me out. Now of course on this I don't want to do this on this one, but I just wanted to show you the mistake that I made when I left you just a minute ago before I made the menu here all prettied up. So anyway, that has to have the quotes around that. But one thing I wanted to show you guys here as we go over some of this and then we end up going over into part 8. See this image that I have right here. Okay, let me run over here now and I'll show you this. If we do an inspection on this and I start to cramp this site down to where it's certain sizes, there we go. I had to think for a minute. So see, as this menu crunches down, it rolls all these other links and these names on these links down. It doesn't know what to do with them or how to pretty that up. And so in part 8, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how we want that to be responsive for all different types of screens, and that image that I just showed you will go right here. So we hover over and or click on that, it will give us a drop down menu so that we can access these, and that just pretties that whole process up. So that will be some of the stuff we'll be going over in part 8. So thanks for watching, guys. We will see you in part 8.